Ladies and gentlemen, the European Union rules governing migration lay down that refugees looking for political asylum must request this asylum in the first country that they enter in the European Union. Now, I think that for most genuine refugees who are fleeing from political or religious persecution, they probably don't really mind very much which country they end up in, as long as once they get there, they are safe from whatever it was they were running away from. Now, there are all sorts of problems involved in the processing of refugees. The main one very often is just deciding whether a particular applicant is a genuine refugee or not. But usually, genuine refugees are accepted in the European Union and can be resettled in member states. However, there is a second group of migrants that is more choosy about where they want to end up. And many of these people are actually trying to get to the United Kingdom. There are various reasons for this. To begin with, most of these people have English as their one and only foreign language, and so they'd like to go and live somewhere where they can speak that language. Secondly, Britain has quite a large number of different minority groups already settled in the country, and maybe these migrants have already got family or friends living somewhere in the UK. Thirdly, it is generally considered that the British social security system is more generous to migrants than most other EU social security systems are. The big problem for many of these refugees, though, is that they can't afford to come to the European Union by air, but instead they come overland. They slip into the EU across one of the long land frontiers, for instance, the frontier with Ukraine, or possibly between Turkey and Greece. And these frontiers are very difficult to police. They run for hundreds or even thousands of miles in some cases. Once they get into the European Union, then they work their way right through the various member states, where they are no longer checked, largely because of the Schengen Agreement, to which many of these member states have signed up. And then they reach the port town of Calais, on the border between France and the United Kingdom. Now, this is nothing new. For over a decade, refugees and migrants have been travelling across Europe, arriving at the British border in Calais and getting stuck because the UK authorities will not let them in. As a result, they settle in Calais, and they have settled very often in shanty towns. One was set up just outside the town of Calais, and 7 years ago it was forcibly closed by the French police on order of the then Minister of the Interior, a certain Mr. Nicolas Sarkozy, who of course we all know very well as France's president today. He, at the time, 7 years ago, proudly stated that this would be the end of the problem. But, unfortunately for him, he was wrong. All that happened was these people just moved somewhere else near Calais, and a new tent camp was set up. Recently, the French police cleared out this camp as well. They arrested 150 people. And so-called processed them, which meant that they were returned to the country which they had first entered the European Union, because that is where they were supposed to make their claims for asylum. But this won't solve anything, ladies and gentlemen, because it's only a matter of time before these people come back to Calais all over again. Now, the British authorities can't possibly accept all the refugees that would like to come in. And even if they were to make a gesture today and say that they would accept all those who are sitting in these temporary camps in Calais, it would only be a stopgap solution, because all too soon more waves of people would come in from the south and the east. So perhaps what we have to do here is to really see what these people are looking for. They can be a very useful source of labour in many member states. especially those where young people are becoming a rare commodity. If they want to be really fussy about where they end up, especially those who are claiming refugee status, then I would suggest that perhaps there is a big question mark surrounding the genuine nature of their refugee claims. And in that case, they probably don't really need asylum at all. Thank you.